How's it going, folks? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of RC Exploits. I'm really happy to show you guys my latest construction model. It's a roller compactor from a company. It roughly translates into the transmission or Getriebdoktor. This video has been a long time in the making. I originally ordered this model in August of last year. I'll say that again. You heard that correctly. August of last year. Uh, so yeah, like I say, it's been a long time in the making. So anyhow, I originally ordered this model, and it said right on the website, right on the company's website, to expect 2 to 3 month build time right off the bat. What they didn't tell me was apparently there were COVID restrictions in place, and for whatever reason that prevented them basically for building the model for some time. So I ordered it last August, and it finally showed up. I believe it was the first day of March this year. So I got the model, and right off the bat, part of the model, it just seemed like a bad luck case. Part of the model was hanging out of the box that it was packed in. Luckily, it wasn't damaged, but I went through the box, and I take it all out. I put it on my workbench here, and I'm going through the box, and there's no engine cover. I thought, all right, I'm probably going crazy. I'm just going to double check the box. So I do. I double check it, and there's still nothing there, no engine cover. And, after waiting all that time to get the model, it just felt like a real gut punch. But I contacted the company, and they got back to me within 24 hours. We basically both agreed that the engine cover was probably lost in customs inspection. It's probably never repacked back in the box. But the folks at the Getriebdoktor, they took care of it. They took care of it. They said, don't worry about it. We're going to send you a replacement engine cover. They never asked me to pay for the engine cover. They never even asked me to pay for shipping on the engine cover. So can't really say enough about that. I mean, great customer service. When I did reach out to them, they got back to me right away. So yeah, a little bit of a crazy story with the model, but so let's talk about the model itself. According to the website, it weighs about 7.5 kilograms. So figure probably about 16.5 pounds. Now, you can get it with a blade on the front, a leveling blade on the front. So that's probably included in the 7.5 kilogram figure. So mine without the blade is probably a pound or two lighter. It's advertised as 1/16 scale. And you can see my loader back here in the background. And normally I would have removed it from the background so it wouldn't clutter things up. But I thought it would be a good size reference. So my loader's the XD model wheel loader, the quote unquote AliExpress wheel loader. It's fairly common in the hobby. And you can see it's considerably bigger than the roller. I think I may have said this already, but anyhow, it's advertised as, the roller is advertised as 1/16 scale. And let me see, they listed dimensions as 420 millimeters length. And again, that's probably with the blade on the front. width as 188 millimeters and height at 210 millimeters. And that's with the little rotating beacon up here. So for folks watching in the US, I'm just going to go ahead and get a couple measurements on it right now. So it's about 14.5 inches long. And it's about 8.25 inches to the top of the rotating beacon. And it's about 7 3/8 inches across the front here. So just to keep it on going here, I have to tell you, I really like this little model. Doors open on both sides. Interior in the cabin, it's it's fairly well detailed, about as much as you can hope for there. Did not actually come with a driver, which honestly, for the price, I thought I should probably throw a driver in there, but has full light kit. So the rotating beacon you've already seen. It's got cab lights on all four corners of the cab. So you can see it's got little cab lights there on all four corners. It's also got brake and reverse lights back here. Let's see if I can get it a little closer. And it's got pretty realistic looking Michelin tires on there. I can tell you it feels pretty heavy. Rollers all made out of steel. One thing I do like about this model, it is not hydraulic. There's no hydraulics in this model at all, which I think is awesome. You don't have to worry about changing out any fluid, because it got dirty or something like that, leaks, line blowing. So I think that's great. So aside from the doors opening, engine cover also opens, and it will lock open. And it actually has, let me see here. I probably won't be able to get on camera, but it actually has a built-in port for the battery connection. It's got a master on-off switch for the model, and it also has a volume control in here. So there are a couple upgrades that are available, and you can get what they call a scale light kit. So it has light pods that are a bit more realistic. If I'm not mistaken, it's still the same rotating beacon, which is Piston King. The other upgrade you can get is also the blade. The blade I mentioned. Now, I live here in the U.S. I'm sure they exist somewhere out there, but I've never personally seen a roller compactor with a blade on the front. So I decided to order mine without it. I did opt to get a sound kit. So I got the sound kit, the basic lighting kit. All the electronics are Servonaut. With the exception of maybe the lights, LEDs, maybe the motors. All the electronic modules for the lights, the speed control, the sound, it's all Servonaut. So no knockoff, no name components in this model. It's all high quality stuff. Each wheel has its own motor to drive it, and the drum is driven as well, which I thought was just awesome. For those of you that are wondering, the drum does vibrate. So let's see, moving on. So the price of the basic model is right at 2,400 euro. So it's 2,400 euro. That's minus the front blade. That's assuming no light kit, no sound kit. €2,400. The model is also sold as an almost ready to run, so you do have to add your own radio and your own battery. Let's see. So actually, before I move on, one thing, I don't think I showed this yet. So the model does have pretty good articulation built in. You can see it flexes pretty good there. So if you're trying to level out something, you have plenty of articulation to work with. Now you might be asking what this is. That's actually a scraper for the roller. It's a little bit hard to see from this angle. There's actually another one on the front side. So it's dual scrapers for the drum. So if you're working in some kind of mucky material, it'll keep probably 98% of it from building up on your roller. So overall, great model. I really like it. A couple little things I want to mention that you could maybe call a con. As I mentioned before, there's no driver figure that comes with it. For the price, I think they should probably throw in a driver figure. Now the drum is bare steel. It's and even the best quality steel, it's bare steel. It's flashing over with rust a little bit. But you run the thing around in the dirt, so you kind of it's kind of more of a characteristic of the model rather than a defect or something. Also, I live in Florida, and it's pretty humid here several months out of the year. So I would say if you live in a humid climate, just keep some kind of lube on there, some WD-40 PB Blaster, just anything like that, any kind of good lubricant. So really not a lot to complain about here. I think this is an awesome little model. There are a couple little boogers in the paint. I doubt you can even see them on camera, so I'm not going to point them out. Yeah, I mean, that's about it as far as cons. One or two tiny little, complaints. Overall, it's a great model. The company, the Getriebdoktor or the Transmission Doctor, they're great as well. Excellent customer service again. I wish they had told me. I wish they had told me up front about the COVID restrictions. I may have reconsidered purchasing, but I'm glad that didn't happen because I got this little roller and I love it. It's like easily my most unique and my favorite RC model. So yeah, again, shout out to the Gearbox or Transmission Doctor. Watch out for another video coming up right after this one, which will be a full demo of the model. I'll shut up and stop talking and just demo the model for you. So that's going to bring this one to a close. So as always, folks, like, share, subscribe, and thanks for watching.